you do not submit to God like you used to, you can fall out of godliness. You find that you become easily angered, you hardly forgive, you are impatient, and it's possible to be unfaithful. You see some persons who say, oh, I married as a virgin, but in marriage I committed infidelity. If you really look at it, besides a partner not being there for you, some people give those reasons. Oh, my partner is not there for me, my partner is no longer attractive for me. I just sometimes, honestly, don't throw shots at me, but sometimes I just feel like when you're actually rooted in godliness, there are certain fruits you will not exhibit regardless of your partner. Because I tell people that, let me tell you, whatever you are doing in your marriage, you're not doing for your partner, you're doing because you submit to God first. You are first accountable to God. So when you lose your accounts with God, that means you're no longer accountable to God. You become irresponsible to your partner. The person that you married that was once right, or that was God, you're like, but this person was not like this when I married him or her. And you realize I married, the person begins to act different. It may not happen in your first year, it may not happen in your second year, it may not happen in your third year. It might just be in your 10th year marriage, or even your 20th year. Why? When you are not consistently submitting to God, you're not consistently relating with Him, you lose accountability with God and you become irresponsible to your partner. So I'm saying all this to say that it is possible to choose right. You are the right person and not remain right in marriage. And that is why whoever you were in your single life, whatever relationship you are building with God, do not hibernate or kill it when you now get married, because you need it more in marriage. People pray. They are prayer warriors. They have solid relationship with God because they want to get the right partner. After receiving the right gifts, after receiving the right spouse, they end up losing touch with God. They end up not having constant relationship with God. Listen, you get married, your finance begins to increase. You realize that, you no longer relate with God like you used to. And if you even realize that even with the increase in finance, you are having bad fruits, you exhibit very terrible fruits towards your spouse. People say that, when there's finance, there's romance. When there is so much finance in marriage and your relationship with God is in trouble, you will be a trouble person to your spouse. And that's why it's very important, no matter the increase that happens in marriage, never feel that you are there in your finance, you are there in the children you're praying to God for, and then you lose out on your touch with God. When you lose out on your touch with God, you lose out on your touch with your spouse. Get. See the rhyme? Mark that word. Number 2, the second truth they don't tell you about marriage is no two partners are always on the same maturity level. What do I mean? No two partners forgive the same way. No two partners love the same way. No two partners are mutually committed. You realize sometimes in marriage that you are just the one who seems to be loving more. You are the one who is more patient. You are the one that gets to initiate apology. You are the one that initiates conversations. When you realize that there's tension or both of you're offended towards each other, you find that you're the one that always has to be the one to go meet your partner, or most times you have to be the one to initiate conversation. You may even be the one to apologize more frequently, like you have to say you're sorry for the things you cannot understand. It shows that you are more mature. Do you understand? And when you find yourself doing, don't feel bad. Don't feel like you are used. Don't feel like, why is that I'm the only one that has to do this? I know it can be a very difficult position. I've been there. The same thing with my husband. He's also been there. But see that you are actually the one who is more mature. You're the one who likes to go for peace more. It just shows one thing, that you're actually the one that is more mature. It doesn't matter who the gender is. Maybe you might expect that, this person is a male, is in my head, so you should be the one to act in a more mature way. It can be your head, but may not lead in a mature way sometimes. And it doesn't mean that he's less of a head to you, or is less of a leader to you. It just shows that at that point or that season, he's not as mature as you. So don't point to me and say my husband is not mature or my wife is not mature. That she's a helper to you doesn't mean that she'll always be mature on the same level that you are in. Then also that brings one that thing. I think my husband has shared it a couple of times. When me and my husband got married, he was more prayerful. He's actually still prayerful, but there are times that it looks like I'm more prayerful than him. But when we just got married, he was more prayerful. He was out there, he was very loud in prayers and all of that, And then I wasn't there. and then I kept on building. You must create allowance for it to understand that no two partners are on the same mature level. There are times you'll be the one that will forgive more. There are times you'll be the one that is more sensitive in caring. There are times you'll be the one that is more sensitive in initiating gifts. There are times you may be the one that is more sensitive in initiating romance in your marriage. There are times you'll be the one that is more sensitive initiating humor. Some persons are more humorous. So all I'm saying, all of this, bringing out all of these instances, that no two partners are always on the same maturity level. And I'm using sometimes because there are times that both of them will be on the same level. There are times that both of you will not be on the same level. So wherever you find, whatever season you are in your marriage, don't attack any partner. Just model it until the person becomes. Number 3, the third truth that they don't tell you about marriage is butterflies don't fly 247 in marriage. It doesn't fly. Not every time you feel the spark in your stomach towards your partner, like, oh, I love you. Oh, I remember when before we got married, my husband used to open door for me. When I go to see him or when we hang out, when we come down from that ride, my husband open car door for me. Oh, I can't remember the last time you opened car door for me, but we thank God. We're still successfully married. Anyways, there are days you just feel like, oh, you don't feel that spark that makes you sparkle. You see, success of marriage is not depend on how you feel, it's how you act. Commitment is more powerful than love. So you're not going with, oh, I need to feel this to do this for my partner. No, you realize that in doing, you will feel. But if you have to wait for your feelings before you do, you end up ruining your marriage totally. And that's why you have more partners who are co-parenting than coupling, because they always want to feel something towards their spouse before they act. Listen, it's not every time I feel like cooking for my husband. It's not every time he feels like doing stuff for me, especially when I've gotten him angry. If I've gotten my man of God angry, forget to. But he has to do what he has to do because he understands that commitment is more powerful than love. Can I tell you something? I kind of just, create this thing in my mind when I read the scripture about Jesus washing his disciples' feet. Could it be that he was even tired? Could it be that he didn't feel like washing his disciples' feet? But he didn't go with feeling, he had to act. Because why? Action proves love, and commitment is an act that every couple needs to intentionally do to keep their marriage going. So whilst you act, you feel, but don't feel before you act. The fourth truth they don't tell you about marriage is don't be unattractive. This is specially dedicated to ladies and guys, not just for women alone. Because when we talk about attraction, it's always the ladies. You have to dress good for your partner, don't tie wrapper. But can I talk to guys, please? Permit me. Please, guys. Also, please be attractive for your wife. It's not just a ladies thing. Groom your pubic hair. There are guys who have a lot of bush under their armpits. The bush has already been burnt in Moses' era. We don't need another burning bush under your armpit. Sorry, it's looking like I'm joking, but I'm actually saying the truth. Please, guys, husbands, take care of yourself. Don't go use the toilet and you don't flush when it's pee. You see that pee. There are some guys, there are some husbands that when they pee, they don't see pee as waste product. Pee and poo are waste products. Please, when you pee and when you poo, please flush. There was a conference I went for in a city, and I got this thing that I love. They were making an announcement for people who are using the washroom, the bathroom, in case you're from Ghana or all of the diasporas, generally anyways, you are using the toilet. So they made an announcement. They said, please, when you use the toilet, when you come out of the toilet like your crush is about to enter. Husbands, please still be the intentional crush, that when you use the toilet and you're coming out, please come out like your wife who is your crush is about to enter. There are also some women who are not good with their hygiene too. When I talk about attraction, it's not only clothes. Please, even how you use the toilet, it can be unattractive to your partner. So please, you too, as wife, in case you are watching and you're that type of person, don't just flush pee. Use the toilet well, flush everything. Also, there are poo that looks like unflushable. Please see to it that it is properly flushed before you leave the toilet, because somebody, your wife or your husband, can come in and the person is displeased. The person may even be in a sexual mood, but when the person sees the seed of the poo or sees the pee or poo, that thing can douse the person's feeling. We can say these things don't matter. It matters. There are wives who are dying, they cannot talk about it, and it's killing their sexual appetite. There are husbands who are dying, they cannot talk about it, but it's killing their sexual appetite. So these are things we must think. Please, husbands and wives, please keep the attraction going. Also, this is also to husbands too. Please change your boxers. Don't wear boxer 3 times or 5 times in a week. The same boxer is an oldie, so it could smell. I mean, it could be so unattractive to your wife, and she will not tell you. The same thing with wives. Don't wear undies like your bras and all of that you wait and wait repeatedly and it's smelling sweat. These are things that you realize that some people that have not had sex in a long time, like 3 months, 5 months, and 7 months and all of that going, they cannot just say it, because some husbands don't hear and some wives don't hear. We need to keep being attractive towards ourselves. Work out if you know that you have a very big stomach. Husbands, your stomach is getting big and your wife is complaining. Be intentional about working. Don't say, that's how I am, I eat late, that's how I am. Or you ask the wife, your husband has said, oh, looks like you are adding so much. Let me just say to you, take it very personal. Try to work out. Do a little workout. You may not have money to go to the gym, but just be intentional. Let's be intentionally attractive towards one another. Please use perfumes.